This conference will now be recorded.
Thank you for joining. So today it is the demo session for data analytics, that course that we conduct at our institute, Isha Training Solutions. So how many of you have used SQL or Python or Power BI among you guys that you have joined? We can keep it interactive because it is a demo session. It's better that I get to know you guys.
No, I've never used Python, but I have an idea.
Okay, SQL or Power BI?
Power BI, yes, but SQL, no.
Okay, Power BI, did you like you have used a database or just the files?
No, a database to create the relationship.
Okay. So when you mean database, you have used some Snowflake or Oracle database to connect to Power BI and then used SQL query to pull the data into it, or
Yeah,
it was CSV or okay.
it was just CSV file from Excel
C
that yeah,
okay, okay. From Power BI, from CSV or Excel, you have connected to your Power BI, right?
Power BI, yeah. I
So,
didn't use Snowflakes or yeah.
oh,
I'm
correct.
still, I'm just a beginner. Yeah.
Okay, right. Awesome. Right.
Thank
I
you.
just want to understand my crowd. Anyone else wants to tell, like whether they've used SQL, Python, or Power BI? Yes, madam. I see your hand. Shia. I can't hear you, madam. Okay. I think she'll join back. Right. So in this course, we will be teaching you SQL, Python, and Power BI. Okay. Uh, why I did draw three different circles for this is for a data analytics course, you need to know all these three. When I say data analytics, you should know even Excel also. But Excel is not taught in this course. But right, the minimum the minimum criteria nowadays for retrieving data or transforming data is you need to know SQL. Because if you are working in a huge organization or a big organization, they will store their data in databases, right? They will not store it in CSV or Excel file, right? So in that case, to connect to a database, to retrieve data, yes, madam, you can ask. I see your hand.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, no.
Good morning, sir. So basically, during my MBA, we just there were simple files. So we just did Python and SQL little bit.
Okay.
Even I
So,
forgot about that.
okay, nice. So it's been some time since you have used SQL and Python, or you have been recently using it.
Not using it right now because
Okay.
I'm busy with my current job.
Okay, right. So you want to upskill yourself so that you can get into this role, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, right. So when you have a huge file, like for Excel, it is 1 million. For a CSV, you can load any amount of data. But uh, for a CSV file, you want to open and see, you cannot see, right? You want to see which column is there, what is the type of data, what is the row at 1 million 10 or something like that. So it is a very difficult thing. So what you need to do in that case, the data is stored in databases, tables. Okay. So what is a schema? What is a table? What is a database? That you will learn here in SQL, right? Then how to retrieve data from SQL, right? What is a where clause? What is an insert? How to create a table? How to drop rows? How to delete a table, right? All those things you will learn in SQL. So assume you are having a Excel file, 100 line. right? The same Excel file, you can load it into SQL also, right? Why there is, why there is like a importance that you should know database? Because suppose right now I have Ashia and I have Julius here. So they both are working in same team, assume. They are working on the same file, CSV file. They are working in the same team, and there is a CSV file. Suppose that CSV file, if it is in SharePoint, it is fine. Okay, they both can go there, use that same file, and they can use. Assume Asha did some mistake in that file. Okay, she corrupted the file. Now the file is lost, and even Julius cannot use that file. So in that case, what they need to do, if we store that data into a database, then they can retrieve their data at their convenience. Not only they both now, entire organization, if it is present in a table, they can retrieve the data, they can transform the data according to their wish, and finally they can prepare their visualization, they can do some analytics out of it, and they can draw some insights. So storing the data in database is very important, and the language that is used to retrieve data from database is called as SQL. You call it SQL or you call it SQL, it doesn't matter. Structured query language. Okay, right. Now you can retrieve data, you can transform data, and if you are, I will teach you even common table expressions also in that. What is a common table expression is like you can transform your entire data set in your SQL query only, and you can connect to Power BI. That also I will show you. From your SQL, you can make a direct connection. Database, you can make a direct connection to Power BI, and you can visualize also. Okay. Why to learn Python? Okay. Why people nowadays, like 10 years back, okay, if you are learning some Python, it was like, oh, you know Python. Now Python has become a default. People expect you, if you are in a data analytics or science field, they blindly expect you should know Python. If you see any job opening also, Python will be default. Either you know Python or you know R. But you know Python, there are a lot more advantages than R. R is just for analytics. Python is like across, you can do anything, you can even build a game also. So that kind of importance it has. So for our data analytics scope, why Python is, majority of the people who try to learn data analytics or data science are originally not programmers, right? They are coming from some different functional field, and they are wanting to do the data analytics part of it and draw some insights. So the language that is very simple, it is like a simple English only. If you read, I'll show you. If you see any Python code, you'll feel, oh, this is very simple, I can read it also. Yes, madam, you can ask the question.
So basically, my question is that, so like, is it compulsory to be someone good at mathematics, like when it comes to SQL or Python and data science?
Okay, if you are thinking about data science, madam, you should know mathematics. Okay, data analytics, you need not know mathematics that level. Even the seventh or eighth standard maths that you studied is enough for data analytics. Okay, but if you want to do data science, then that is where you need to know statistics of somewhere engineering standard.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Thank you.
For data analytics, it's seventh or eighth standard sufficient. Okay, right. So now, where was I? Okay, right. I was speaking about Python, but I lost my thought. So right, you draw, you like, it's very simple. You can, when you see the code, you can read it, it is in a simpler terms, and it is very easy to read also. You feel it is written in English only. There is less of syntax. There is no semicolon or a colon that is required in C language when we used to study, like for declaring an integer in C language. When I first learned the programming, when I was very young, before my engineering also, like, okay, uh, we used to write initialize studio h, it, I am declaring an integer, and then I write a is equal to 1 or something of such sort. But in Python, it's just like simple mathematics class where you write a is equal to 1, Python will understand it is an integer. You write b is equal to 1.5, it will understand it is a decimal point number or a floating point number. Okay, or if you write a is equal to Sachin Tendulkar, it will understand it is a string. So you don't need to define a data type within Python. It's already there, and Python understands that whatever you write on a notebook, the same way if you write it in Python, it will understand what you're trying to tell. But other programming languages, there is a little of syntax that you need to understand or declare a variable. But in Python, it is very simple. Now, from here, you can pull data here, okay? Or you can use CSV files or Excel files, and you can transform your data here, okay? If your project is a simple project, you are working in a smaller team, 10, 20 people, your files are coming from SAP BO or some other source, someone is giving you the data set and you know how to transform the data, fine. Okay, you can do your transformations here from CSV Excel in Python, or you can connect directly to the database and pull here using Python, and then you can do the transformations. Now, this is coding, right? So you need, there is a little of syntax over there, but it is not that difficult. You should get used to SQL. But for Python, it seems very simple. And when I teach it also, like when you learn the module of pandas, you feel, oh, it is kind of a child play only. I do it, you write dot remove, you write dot insert. It's like very plain English. If I want to do some transformation, it is very simple. So you feel, okay, it is kind of a child's play for me. I can easily transform the data, okay, to whatever the mode that I want to see. And once you transform the data, you can write it back to the source that you want to, like a CSV or an Excel or a database table, okay, and then you can push it back into Power BI. End of the day, we bring it to Power BI so that we visualize. Right? Why am I stressing Power BI? You can say there is Tableau also across in the market. Yes, both are competitors. Tableau has its own importance, Power BI has its own importance. But Power BI is a product of Microsoft because of the recent ChatGPT and all. Microsoft has more importance in the market and more relevance also, and Power BI is booming. All the Microsoft products have more importance. If you ask me which is better, Tableau or Power BI, I said both are good at its own. Tableau is more powerful in the transformation part, and Power BI is very convenient in the visualization part. So even a layman also can pull off any report in Power BI in 1-2 days. You see some YouTube videos also. It's so easy to create a visualization in Power BI. Okay. So now either you connect to SQL or you connect to Python or you connect to any of that, and you can use Power BI to make visualizations. Okay. Any questions until now in these three circles? It's like very plain drawing that I've done, but I'll go to Power BI or something like that and show you now. Any questions until now? Yes, madam. Yes, sir.
Yes. So for the SQL, which one are you working on?
A good question. So we will be installing pgadmin, PostgreSQL. Good question. Let's go over there. So this is a free software. So I'll help you install. I'll help you create a database. I'll help you create a table. I'll help you understand what is a schema. Then the good part that I do in my course, which I feel, is I have created a file. Even a layman who doesn't know anything about SQL, I have written all the codes. Like, okay, how to create a table, okay, and then how to insert data, okay, and then I write each and every query, and I'll tell the comment over here, so that if you see, what am I doing here? Retrieve only 2 rows of records from this table. So what is the query? And if I want to do, I retrieve all the names of the actors born before 1970. How the query is written, and I slowly increase the like complexity of it. How to write the count, and what am I doing in this query? So here, what am I doing in this query? What is the explanation for it? So I've written all the queries that I'm going to teach in the course, and then accordingly I have written the commentary for it. So I teach this in the class. I show each and every query. I explain all the queries in the class. Then I give you this file also, all the files, all the tables, how it is created. I'll show you, and I'll help one of you also do it. And then you guys can refer this file. We'll drop it in the drive. You can refer this file. While you are practicing, you can go back and watch my videos, which are uploaded to YouTube and shared with you. If you don't understand anything, you can try using the video. If you don't understand, you can come back to this file and then see how I've written, what is the comment for it, so that it is easy for you. Okay. And if suppose you are a little faster according to the group that we are going, and you feel I want to practice in the line number 415 rather than if I'm in the line number 350, you go ahead, practice with this code, understand yourself and write the query. Anyways, I'll explain everything in the class. Got it? Right. Any questions, sir? So now how to write the query? All this. I'll show you. Okay. Any questions until now? Okay. So yes. So the database, it will be installed, and the table creation, everything, as I told you, even the SQL queries are also written here. I'll give you the commentary. This file is shared with you once you join the course, and then we can practice together. Okay. So that's the thing. And then let me go to the, okay, let me show you Python also. And for Python, I'll be using Jupyter Notebook. And even here also, I'll help you install Python Anaconda, and then we will use Jupyter Notebook within that. And then how to install if you're using plain Python, all those, how to do installation of any module, what is a module, how to create a module, all those things will be taught to you. Okay. Now here in Python, in Jupyter Notebook, a single notebook that we create here, it is called as a IPython notebook. Okay, or you can call it as a Jupyter Notebook also. Give me a moment, it's just loading. And as I told you, like if you see here, I write a is equal to 1 and I go check what is the type of a. It will tell you it is an integer. If I write a is equal to 1.5, I ask it, it will tell me it is a float. Okay. If, as I told you, if I write, might be I'll write some v is equal to Virat. I check type of v, it will tell me it is a string. Python is so simple. And if you want to do some addition of b plus c, I run a, I run b, I run c, and I run a plus b plus c, it will do. And it wasn't the case when I was learning C language, when I was in engineering or something. For defining one floating point number also, I had to write 3-4 lines of code. But Python is so simple that you write a is equal to something, b is equal to something, c is equal to something, and you do the transformation, you apply any logic, it will give you the answer. And if you want to do multiplication, addition, division, subtraction, all those things what you have learned in basic mathematics, you can plainly write it like a mathematics line. And here also in this Jupyter notebook, if you see, I have written all the codes that are required for a data analyst. And for everything, I give heading. Okay. I'll teach you all the lines of code. And 1 second. If you see, what is a dictionary? What is a list? What is a tuple? Everything will be written, and then the codes. Okay. Then the looping techniques. Okay. Conditions, if statement for like while, range, everything. I have written the code in this notebooks, and I'll teach each and every code to you guys, so that you know at least the advanced level of Python. And even in SQL also, you know the advanced level of SQL. So end of the day, by the end of this course, you will be knowing 80-90% of it, and then you can do your transformations using SQL or Python. Then I will show you the Power BI piece also now in some time. And there is one more notebook also. Let me open that. And then for pandas also, pandas is a module used majorly for data transformation. I have written all the codes in like notebooks. So what is a series? What is a data frame? I have multiple notes in that, and then working with text data, how to use the concept of join and merge, SQL joins, and even the same concept applies in Python also. Group by, working with date and time, input, output, index, all those things. Let this load. Okay, right. So here, how to write a function. Okay, and then once we learn functions, we will learn classes. Okay, oops concept. Okay, and then within classes also we have oops concept. Within that we will learn encapsulation, inheritance, multiple inheritance. Okay, private variables. Yes, madam.
Sir, so my concern is like it's like quite long. So do I need to memorize every coding thing, which
Good question,
I'm
madam. I'll answer your question. So you are asking like there is too much of coding involved. That is your concern.
yes, sir.
Okay. So learning this programming is like very simple, madam. Like either you learn SQL or Python. Once you start to do it, you feel it is very simple. Because I'll give you the best example is like we started this course around 1 year back, and the first student for me was a lady, and she has taken a break for 10 years. She did not do anything after her engineering. She was in on a break for 10 years, and then she wanted to get back to work, and then she took this course. Even after 10 years of break, when she was learning what I was teaching, a little effort, she used to just listen to the class, go back, watch the video one more time, and practice the same thing which I taught, and then come back the next day. And it went on, and as I told you, this course goes on for 45 hours. By like 10 hours or 11 hours, she could write the code on her own, try something, and come back and ask the question. So once you start doing it, is very simple. Even if you see something here, I'm trying something, I'm accepting something. It is like a plain simple English only. Even though you feel there is too much of code in here, the moment you start writing, it is very simple. So by the end of this course, she was already applying for jobs in data analytics fields, and she was giving interviews also. Okay, and of like one or two she was having in pipeline to crack. She was almost there in the last rounds. So if she can do it after a 10-year gap, I feel anyone else can also do it.
Mhm, that's good. But my concern is like in my MBA course, there is a like 3 month course of business analytics, and
Hmm.
my professor was really good. He didn't like not only like
Hmm.
taught us, but he inspired us.
Hmm.
So basically, like he taught us in the way, like
Hmm.
word by word, like how to learn the Python, how to do this and
Hmm.
that. But in next semester there was a subject like machine learning and
mm, mm, mm,
Python and all. And then that professor used to do like all the things with the help of ChatGPT.
mm, mm.
So that got like I was really confused which one was the best thing. I mean, like to do it by yourself or to take
Okay.
help from the ChatGPT.
Now the point is, see, data analytics, machine learning, data science, all are interrelated topics only. But in data analytics, what you do, what is your job? You work into a project. Okay. They'll give you a project, they'll tell you, suppose you are in, suppose some product company, they want to understand which product is selling better in which region. That was your straightforward question. I asked you, you are in my team. Can you pull out a report and show me which product is selling better or worse across different regions? Okay, that much only I asked you. But for that, what you need to do, first of all, you need to understand where your data source is coming from, right? And then you need to do some kind of transformation, and then you need to visualize it using either a Power BI or a tablet, right? And you will show me, sir, this product, it is doing well in Canada. It is doing a little good in few regions of USA, and in Asia, might be it is not selling that much. Might be our focus of regions. Asia is not in priority. Okay, what you will use for that? Oh, simple SQL, and you can pull it off in Power BI also, right? So data analytics piece, either you use SQL or Python or a Power BI, and you can show me what is your end result. It ends over there. You already got me an insight. But if I ask you the next question, can you show me how it is going to perform in the next 10 years? How will you show? Right? For that, you need to use science. If you need to use
Yeah.
science, you need to use multiple techniques which are there in random forest or something of such sort, and you should show me using trend analytics and all. That's where you
Yes.
do the data science part of it. Okay, that is a different thing again. Now, the third question that you asked me is machine learning. So, if you want to do machine learning, you should be expert in programming, and you should be expert in visualization also. And for programming, you should know classes and other pieces like oops concept of programming in an expert level. Okay, for doing machine learning, it's not that someone randomly is coming into the field and he can pull off a machine learning project. No, you cannot do. You are making a machine to learn what you are doing day by day. Okay, which is a tricky thing. You cannot do it straightforward. Okay, so the level of complexity, which is the area that you are choosing for your job, is more important. Are you focused on data analytics, data science, machine learning, or artificial intelligence? What is your concern area? Okay.
Okay, makes sense.
So right now you are learning the first step. You are learning only analysis or analytics. Then if you feel further after 1 year or something, you crack a job, assume. Then after 1 year, you feel I can pull off science also. Learn data science, right? And after doing data science project also, you feel I can do machine learning also. Okay, you go ahead, learn more coding, do machine learning as well. All these are, end of the day, you do data science, you do data analytics, machine learning, or AI. End of the day, programming is Python. Okay, and data retrieval is SQL. And the visualization is either Power BI only. But what on top of Python, which module you are going to learn? For data analytics, I'm going to teach you the Python piece of it, and I'm going to teach you pandas. But for machine learning, there are other more modules that you need to learn. What is a module? You will understand when you learn Python. Okay, got it?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So, and all those things like iterator, generator, all this you might feel, okay, what is this? But you will understand once you start to do the course. Don't worry. In this 1 year, there have been many students who have joined, like they don't know anything of any programming, but they could do it by the end of this 45 hours, and they were doing on their own only. It's not difficult. Okay, right. Now all these are written in notebook. All this will be shared with you, and you can practice. Everything will be taught to you. If you don't understand, you can ask in the class, and then we can learn together. Okay, right. The third part of it is, let me go to Power BI. So you do data retrieval, you do data transformation here also, you do here also. But end of the day, if my VP is asking me, can you tell me which product, as the same example, in which region is it doing better? I will do some transformation. I'll put it in Excel and share it with him. Will he like it? And I am having some. Mine is a very huge company across the globe, and then I mean my company, and then if suppose I want to see which customer is not subscribing with us, all of a sudden he is going for a cancel. He's not liking the product and he's going for a cancel. I want to know which is the customer. Okay, in millions of records, I want to know which is that customer. If I do it in an Excel and share it with him, will he like it? No. There needs to be some kind of visualization, right? So that visualization part of it is done by using Power BI. Okay. So now in Power BI also, I'll teach you almost the advanced level, like from basic to the advanced level. Now I'll show you examples, like very simple. I'll start off with you guys understand cricket, majority of you, or if you don't understand, we'll go just with the numbers to understand. Okay, whereas where there is a batsman and a bowler who throws, and then there are runs scored. If someone knows cricket, doesn't know cricket, and then okay, this is some data in 2023 World Cup last year which was played, and then if you see how this report was built, and if you see the top scorer in that tournament was Virat Kohli. If I click on Virat here, okay, he has scored 765 runs, 9 sixes in the entire tournament, 77 boundaries, which includes 4 plus sixes, and then he has got dismissed 8 times. And who is he has got dismissed to is like the bowlers are displayed here. Okay, the similar way, if I want to see Mohammad Shami, he has taken 25 wickets. He has given away 238 runs, and uh, against Mohammad Shami, whose wickets he has taken, it is displayed here. Okay, how I could do that? I connected to different data sources here. If you see here, I'm having deliveries table, matches table, points table. I have done some transformations. Okay, and I've joined the tables, and then I have made the data visualize here so that I can get my end result. And if you see here, India was on the top position in that table, and how many matches they have won, how many matches they have lost. If you see, Sri Lanka has lost the more matches here. And then what is the run rate? And if I want to go to each individual player performance, as I told you, Virat was on top, Shami was on top in bowlers. And then if Mohammad Shami, what is the percentage of wickets that he has taken? What's the type of wickets that he has taken? And if I want to format like who has scored more than 550 runs in a darker shade of blue, lighter shade of blue, all kind of reporting. Someone asked me make a reporting on this tournament that has happened. Okay. And then there is something called how to visualize using maps. Just a moment. So the tournament was played in India across different stadiums. And if I want to know in Hyderabad, which were the matches, it was amongst New Zealand and Netherlands, Pakistan and Netherlands, Sri Lanka and Pakistan. Who has won the match? Who was the player of the match? How many runs they have won by? Okay. So how this is done? It is done based on, just a moment, these 3 files. I'll show you even how to connect using Power SQL into Power BI and then do the transformations also. But this visualization, it was done using 3 files. It is pure raw data. It is like 30, some 27 or 30,000 lines, 27,000 lines. And then from here, we have drawn some insights like how many runs Virat has scored, how many runs Rohit Sharma has scored. Okay, something of such sort. And then this is the venue file. Okay, and then points table. I'm just showing you how we can draw it. Okay, Okay, using these three files, I could come to a visualization something like this. Okay, where I could draw the insights. Okay, saying okay, among the players, if suppose there is a new tournament, India versus Australia from November 22. If Australia was preparing for Indian team and their coach wanted to see who's the best bowler among India, it would be Mohammad Shami, and they will draw some insights here. Okay, you should play carefully when Mohammad Shami is bowling. You should not go and play the ball outside of the out stump. If it is too much of cricket, you can ignore. How to analyze, how to arrive at a bowler's performance or a batsman's performance, how we should be careful against them. And if you see Indian team, they will feel okay, Adam Zampa is a threat for us, right? They'll be careful among when they are playing against that bowler. He's from Australia. Okay, so from these files, we could make this visualization. And now within Power BI also there is something called as transform data, which will load you Power Query editor. Okay, and here also we will do some transformations. Now to your question, madam Ashia, you told me that might be you will not find it comfortable using a SQL or a Python. Sir, I'm good with Power BI only. I'll learn Power BI, I can pull it off. Yes, Power BI also helps you do data transformation, and it will be taught to you also. Like here, if you see, these steps that I've done here are to use the transformation piece within Power BI. So if you see here on the top, there are few things here: pivot column, unpivot column, running a Python script, or to do fill of data, detect data type. And if you see column from example, custom column, invoke custom column, all these things, whichever are useful for transforming data within Power BI will be also taught to you. Okay, you're not comfortable with SQL or Python, you can pull it off using Power BI also. But if your original data set goes beyond some 10 million or 20 million, that is where Power BI tends to struggle. Okay, any questions until now? Go ahead if you have anything, ask. Okay, so now I think it was Julius, right? Sir, you told me that you have used Power BI a little, right? So now,
Yes.
have you written DAX in Power BI, sir?
No, no, not yet.
Okay, so now the good part that I teach in this course for Power BI is I teach you DAX also, like
No.
almost majority of the formulas which are useful for our data analytics piece. And here also everything I've written in a file so that it is convenient for you to learn also. Everything will be taught and then this will be shared. So according to complexity, I've written a few formulas which are very useful in our day-to-day projects. Okay, low complexity, medium complexity, and then high complexity. And this goes on until like 180, somewhere around 150 formulas, which are kind of more frequently used in a project. Okay, so all this DAX also. What is a DAX? Data analysis expressions. Okay, that will also be taught. And other than that, let me open some other reports. All this Power BI that you're seeing here, around 9 or 10, everything will be from scratch. Nothing is run on the PPTs or something of the sort. My my way of teaching is everything is practical. I help you understand the concept, and then I'll tell you how to write, how to do it. Everything is done live in the class. So there is nothing run on the PPT or I show you an image and say, okay, it is done. Okay, let it load. Okay, this is one of the data set which is having the office supplies product that they are selling across the regions. And then the same question which I asked Asha, like you build a report for me and tell me across the regions which region we are performing better or which region we are performing worst. And I want to know the rep also who is performing best or worst. Accordingly, I can mark them, rank them, or know which manager is performing better or which rep is performing better. All this is done. And again, here we go and build this report using multiple tables, and then how to do this joins. This is called as report model view, this is called as table view, this is called as a report view. And then what is the join concept within Power BI, how to do the data transformation, everything will be taught to you. And finally visualization also. If you see here, like across the region, across the category, and then across the product, okay, across the manager, how they are performing, who are the top performers, who are the bottom performers, and what is the sales rank. Okay, if I highlight only north part of it, and the other visuals are also showing me only north data. Okay, and okay, this is fine for an executive. I see on the top level it is fine, but I want to see even more in the detail. I want to go into like granular level of detail where I want to see entire data set. You can go into detailed view, and then you can see here, if I want to see the order ID, order date, delivery date, all those columns populate here. I want to see the sales before discount, I want to see the discount value, all this interactive graphs basing on my selection. If you see, the columns are also changing. And if I want to see only the rep level details and what is the sales that he's doing after discount, okay, and then what is the discount value that he's providing, all these things. If you see, there is a graph, there is a table. Basing on my selection, the values are modifying. Okay, I want to know across the products that we are selling how it is performing or not. Any questions, anyone? And almost like all these visuals which are present in Power BI will be taught to you, how to do formatting, how to write a measure, how to use parameters within Power BI, like what is the license of Power BI that is needed for you, what is row level security, dynamic row level security, almost the advanced, basic to the advanced thing will be taught to you. Any questions, anyone? Okay. Yes, yes, sir. I see a hand
So
raised.
when will the class start?
Yeah, from tomorrow only.
Or from
And
tomorrow to start the class?
yeah, so today is a demo session. Tomorrow also will be one more demo, I feel, but it will be
Okay.
kind of a continuation only.
Okay. So the real class will start when? Finally.
It will start from tomorrow itself, sir. I just go along and then teach. Tomorrow also, I'll just give the basic intro type of it. People get to decide whether they are like it can pull it off or something, and then it goes on. It gets continued.
Uh,
Because if you
okay.
see
Thank you.
45 hours, it is like Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sunday, there won't be any class. So if you see, it'll go on for almost like 3 months or something, 45 hours, almost 3 months. It's not that I stop it at 45. If people are fast, it'll be done. If people are a little slow, it'll go to 50, 51 also sometimes. Getting people to understand is more important. Okay, this is one more like an amazing mart. Assume it is an Amazon and then they sell multiple products across regions. And then how it is, like how we have built this visualizations. They are selling furniture, office supply, technology. And if I go to technology and accordingly the data is modified, and then I want to see a sales summary or something of the sort, I can go into it. Okay, how to pull off a graph and how to pull off this one smart narrative. If you see from the data itself, it is telling me central region had the highest total sales of some number and then followed by north and south. How can it do smart narrative on its own across region? If I select south region here, and accordingly you see only the south particular regions are getting highlighted, and if I go click on this here, you see, and accordingly the graphs are also getting modified. Germany, it is showing me the data. Central region, what is the contribution to it, what is the profit, what is the sales, everything. Okay, any questions? Yes, madam. Divya.
Yes, sir. So, like after all these sessions, after learning SQL, Power BI, and like the Python, would you be would we be able to pull data from a Kaggle and do our own visualization? Will be there till that level?
Yes, madam. So all these files now are built using either CSV, Excel, or database. Okay, which I teach you. And I teach you from scratch, like how to connect to database. Okay, how to connect to a file. Everything I will teach you. And once you connect to the data sets, I will show you how to do the transformation also. I will show you how what is model view, how to do a join, how to do a union within Power BI, what all shortcuts are present. Everything I will teach you. So right now I was curious. I like cricket. So I downloaded cricket data. I built the report. I
Mm.
wanted to do something like for an amazing market. I thought this is a kind of an I downloaded the file from Google. All these data sources I downloaded on myself, like a Kaggle or something else. I downloaded and I built a visualization on my own, basing on the question that was coming in mind. Okay, I am working in so and so location. If I was working in that project, what question will they ask me? What kind of report will they ask me? It was there in my mind. I built a report according to it. So similar way, if you are comfortable after it won't take much time also. After 5 6 sessions of Power BI only, you will feel okay, I can also connect to a source and I can create my visualization. Yes, you can pull it off easily. I am confident on
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, madam. Ashia.
So same concern. Now I just forget my question. Sorry.
Okay, you want to ask something, Julius? You are on unmute.
Uh,
Okay, right. So now, okay, that is fine. Suppose you are interested somewhere in stock market. Okay, you want to analyze a particular stock. Okay, I have downloaded the Indian Tobacco Company, ITC, which is very famous in India. I don't know it is across, but ITC is a very popular brand. And what is their share value? When did they initially get into the stock market? It was in 2003. What was the price of it then? What is the maximum high, low, maximum volume price on that day? And then the total value of shares, how to do it. And if you want to calculate on the previous year the same day, what was the price of it, whether the stock market was running on that day or stock market was holiday. If you see, I've coded it to stock market holiday. I want to see the price in 2023. What was the price? All those things. Same period last year, previous year price, previous month price. How to do all those calculations? Again, I've just downloaded this data from NSE, National Stock Exchange. I've connected into Power BI and I've written a few formulas. How to write the formulas, how to write measures, everything I will teach you. Okay? Yes, madam. Go ahead.
So my question was that usually earlier I joined one of the class, but the problem is the tutor always considered that the students already know everything.
Hmm.
So
I don't
they just
consider like
ignore
that, madam.
those, yeah, so those little details, they just miss it
I
that
I
they
I
think, yeah,
I I
okay.
am telling you, the first example that I gave you when we started this course exactly 1 year back, my first student, I don't recall her. It starts with A only, her name. she took a 10-year break, and assume I was literally surprised the way she was pulling off, right? And she could, every day I do some visualization, or I write some Python code, or I write some SQL query. She could pull it off the next day, and she used to ask me a question basing on the topic which I've taught. If something worked for her, fine, she would have done something better. And if something did not work for her also, she used to ask me the question and understand what is the problem. So if a person who hasn't done anything for 10 years and she has come back and done what I have done or better than what I've done, trust me, she was doing better visualizations than me, a color coding and all, because my concept is how to teach. I used to show you can do a visualization here, drop a color here, all those, and she used to go back and do that and come back and show me she could do it. So I feel others can also do it, and it's not her only. Even in the other batches also, I had a few other people like Swapna or someone else. They could pull it off very easily, and they weren't working for 3 4 years or 5 years, and they could do the same thing which I was teaching or better than me. So yeah, people can do it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes. So, and there is one more data set, and if you want to use Python within here, do a visualization. Yes, we can write Python code within Power BI also. How to write it, how to do visualizations, let it load, it is taking some time. Okay. If you see here, this is plotted using Python. If I click on it, there is a code behind. I have used matplotlib and dropped the code. You need not worry. Now, the same thing, why to use Python here? Now, this is a visualization using Power BI. Here, the below one. What's the difference? There is nothing. And this one is even more convenient. Now, why? How to do this? How to do this? What's the difference between both? Which one is more convenient? Everything I'll teach you. And then there are multiple graphs here. Just a moment. I think this is violin chart. Yeah. How to draw, like if you are interested in data science, someone asks you to draw a violin chart, how to do it. A simple graphs using Python that I have dropped in over here. First thing is like you have come to a course where you have to learn a little bit of coding also. Don't worry or don't get scared of it. You will pull it off. That is what I can say. Yes, madam, you have raised your hand.
So like I'm familiar with this term because we used to do this in our class, the different charts,
Mhm.
graphs and all. But my concern was I was always like used to remain confused that which graph we need to draw now. I'm like I didn't know like how to deal
Within
with
Power BI,
data
madam, or within Power BI or using Python?
using Python.
Good question. So now, end of the day, if you are working in any org, visualization will be done using Power BI or Tableau only, madam. Nowadays, it's majorly Power BI only because companies are getting tied up with Microsoft and they are also selling Power BI to the organizations. So I'll teach you all these graphs here. Okay. And I'll tell you which one is better for what also. Like, should you use a column chart? Should you use a bar chart? Should you use a line chart? Should you use a area chart? Should you use a pie chart? Should you use a donut chart? Should you use a tree map? Which maps among these two you should use? All this I will teach you. So end of the day, you know the concept. Which one is useful for what? So tomorrow when you are working in a project, then they ask you a question. They'll never tell you, okay, you put a column chart, you put a bar chart. They'll never tell you like that. They'll ask you a question. Can you do a area wise sale, such kind of like this office supplies? They'll ask you, okay, prepare a summary. Tell me which product is selling better, which product is selling worse, who is the best performer, worst performer, something like that. But now you're already used to in your mind when I trained you, okay, we can do it like this. You can come back, refer to this video, and you can go back and show them. And once you show them, if they like it, it is fine. If they don't like it, then they will tell you a suggestion. Can you do this a bar rather than a column? then that's where you can go and flip it to a bar rather than a call. Okay, so you will get used to it. The main driving factor in this course that I do for the students is they should think like a data analyst. You're you will not be thinking like a Python coder or a SQL coder or a Power BI developer. No, I don't want you to do that. I want your thinking to be like a data analyst. How I can build a report, how I can show it to my org. That is what I drive in my course.
That's what I'm planning.
Yeah. Yes, Madam Shilpa.
Hi. Yeah. So I mean, I have been this course before. So just asking.
Ah,
No,
you
not
have.
with. No, not here. Not here. But
Oh,
in
okay.
different session. Yeah.
I thought of some other Shilpa. Okay, right.
No. No.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask. So we go through this course and we go through all the projects with you. But my question
Uh,
is how these projects will help me professionally, like, to face the job interviews, and how will I be able to project myself as a data analyst by using the knowledge using these projects that I work on with you in these sessions.
I work in a very big organization, madam, and
Okay,
my job is day in day out. I go, they'll ask me some question, build some report to the top level only directly, like
right.
VP, something of such sort. If I am doing some work over there, I am replicating the scenarios what I am doing over there. Don't you
Mm-hmm.
think it will be useful for you? I'm just asking.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
it will be.
definitely will is useful. But for me, as a beginner, as a data analyst,
So if I
I
am
wanted.
teaching you from the scratch till the
Right.
level almost I know, I wouldn't say, okay, I'm teaching you what I know. That cannot be done practically. So I'll teach you almost the concepts that you should know. You will
Mm-hmm.
be better than a fresher only. End of the day, by the end of this course, either in Power BI or in Python or in SQL, you will be better than a 3 4 year old experienced person. You can
Okay.
do such stuff, and you can build your own reports, and you can just download data randomly from Google. And then if you were the one who asked me, right, the Kegel or Divya, anything you download, you are interested in some topic, you just download that data and you build some report. You can do it easily once you do this course.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
because
do it.
yeah. I mean, now also I feel that I can actually build the certain no, not very complex analysis, but up to
Mm,
certain analysis I can do perform to perform the analysis, and also
mm, mm,
build visualizations based on
mm,
the report I get.
mm,
uh,
mm.
but the thing is, I'm not sure, or that if I can
You're
present
not.
what. Yeah.
If I understand, you're asking, can I increase my confidence after I take this course? That is what your question.
Yeah, kind of.
Yes.
But the thing also because as a beginner, I may not be able to present it in a very professional manner. Even though I put in a lot of work in my visualization or create my visualizations really good practically, but I wanted to be able to convey it as much as I do it on practically. So will I be able to improve that? Uh,
Yes.
with Okay.
So in that case, what you should do, no, madam, with in this progress of course, participate. So every day, as I told you, nothing. I never run anything on PPT. That is my agenda. I never show some screenshot and
Mm,
say this is done. You see, my effort is there on the screen. I have written formulas. I have written coding, everything.
right.
So you watch the video. Once I teach you, you go back, watch the video how many ever times you want, because it will be shared with you. You practice, you come back, participate, ask me question, and then you show me, okay, I've done this or I've done that. Might be it is better for me, you, and even the other people who are participating in this course. They will also learn something new because of you, and you can also show off your skill, no? So yeah, you will improve. Participation.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay, I
madam.
think
Sahana.
that's it. I'm good. Yeah. Thank you.
Sahana.
Yeah, hi sir. So currently I'm working as a QA with 5 years of experience.
Mhm.
So I'm planning to switch my career to data analytics.
Yes,
So
madam.
is it like, how do I switch? Do I
What
need to start
what
as
what are the tools that you are using currently, madam?
programming language is Java and Selenium for the
Uh,
automation,
okay.
and
You were
for
using Java and Selenium and anything else?
yeah, for APIs like Postman.
Oh, so you are mostly into the front end tool automation. I like that piece of it. I was you doing in my initial career. Yes, you can move, madam. In generally in what do you say automation front end tool, that Selenium thing, we majorly read the XPath of it, like the go to the web browser, read the code behind, and then get the XPath, and then click on multiple buttons and do it. Yes, if you already know the concept of Java, learning other things is very simple only. All this is very simple.
So while I'm switching, right, do I need to start as a fresher in DA or I
No,
can?
madam. No, you can say basing on you how you sell yourself in the project. Like you know the concept, you can show them what you have done. You can publish something and then say I have done this reports. You can tell your knowledge. You can build your resume across.
And how about the projects I get there? Like, will it be good or?
No, no. See, for a data analyst, see, if you are applying as a experienced person, you should know some concept. You should be able to build the reports and then show them, okay, I can do it, and then they'll ask you okay, can you build this report for me? Assume this example only. Yes, you can do it. It is not difficult at all. What you are seeing on the screen is not difficult. It is very simple. Once I teach you, you feel it is very easy. Okay, so you can do it, but the only thing would be for an experience and a fresher, might be if I'm a team manager or a team lead, if Ashia is there, she is a fresher, I know, then I have recruited her. I'll say, okay, Ashia, for this one you could go put a column chart, you do like this, you drop in over here. I'll help her so much. And then I recruit a senior candidate like 5 years experience. Assume you told me you are a 5 years experience, you know Power BI, I have got you in. Then I'll tell you, can you build this report for me, madam? That's where the difference is. I'll not tell you a column chart or a bar chart. I'll expect you to do it. But for a fresher, I'll tell, okay, put a column chart here, put a region, put a sales. I'll help her for 2 3 months or a 6 months. Then she will improve. No, I mean, like a manager will do like that, or a lead will do like that.
Yeah, these two are different entities. So like, is it good to switch or I can continue as a QA?
When I started using Python, madam, in 2015 or 16, I first my project was that only. I was working in a EPM project. I took up Python, I took up Selenium, and then I automated a lot of things to drop in into the tool directly. So that was my first project. Okay, then I did the data transformation piece of it. Then I transformed the data, and slowly I got into data engineering. I did data analysis, I do data science. Slowly I do everything. So if you know programming, you can do anything. It's not a difficult thing to switch for you.
Okay, and what about the work pressure in DA?
It depends on your company
Okay.
where you are joining. It depends on that. I don't know that. See, if you know your concept, whatever it is you can do, and it depends on you whether you should set the expectations right. You should not tell, oh, I will do in 1 hour. That's not the
Okay,
right.
yeah, I'm just asking about work-life balance because like I
Yeah, I
got
got.
mixed opinions when I wanted to switch because
No,
they
no.
tell like as a
Uh,
QA like you have a greater scope when because DA anyone can go and actually do, but that's what I got. So I
is
just
it so? QA is more easier, I feel.
I'm not sure I got this.
QA
Not
is more
into
simpler
DA.
job. No, you know what is right, what is wrong. You know the expat. You get experience, hang of it. Nothing new we do over there, right? Here,
Yeah,
every day
but
is a kind of a project for me.
yeah, but without the QA's approval, right? Nothing goes to
Yeah,
production.
yeah, I agree. But end of the day, everyone has its own. But yeah,
So they
both the
tell
jobs
like
are
you
good.
lose the essence of that what you own now as a project. You lose it when you go to a DA. Is it true or
I enjoy the kick in DA.
okay?
I enjoy it because new project. they'll ask me some new question. There is a kick all the time. There is expectation around how whether my report is liked or not. The challenge, it goes back. We show. They'll ask some changes. We'll do it. We'll show. The kick is different. You will get it once you start doing it.
Okay, just to it's just for my knowledge. So, what these reports, right? What we build, do we like to whom are we presenting this? And
It depends on your level, madam. I am a manager in my org. I
Mhm.
do reports for around a big team of 40, 50. They ask me something, I build it for them and show. Other than that team, my sometimes my visualization requests come from very senior level, more than a
Okay,
VP also, sometimes a VP also.
okay.
Yes. Any other question? I see a new hand raised. You can ask me.
Uh, so actually, like I have little knowledge on, like I have done few like follow along projects, but in like in the data analytics and like both SQL, Power BI, and also in Python, all are follow along projects. Like
Hmm. You
thing
were
is,
supporting.
I no, I in like in YouTube or something, like I'll find the
Okay.
videos, right?
You
So
have
there,
learnt on your own. Okay.
yeah, so follow along videos. So like I
Hmm.
don't have the confidence of like doing my own things. And also like currently I'm applying for the data analyst roles by
Hmm.
learning like some of the interview questions or something. So and also like I'm seeing in the roles like the specifically like a finance experience, like in a finance background or the financial data.
Generally, it is finance only. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so like pulling reports from the financial data
Hmm.
and like different like departments or like the different industries. So like how would like this this also covers everything, or like something like
So,
a,
if you see my report example, madam, one is
Mhm.
on cricket, right? Other is on product. Other one
Yeah,
is on something like an Amazon, right?
yeah,
And then the other one is on stock market. And then I do something on union of data using some student data or something of such sort. So I did not restrict myself to only finance data or some other data or something like that. So I'm showing you different variety of examples. It was intention. Okay, all these things that I've done, it was an intention that people don't work in the same area. So here
yeah,
in this course, I will teach you how to use Power BI, how to use SQL, how to use Python. So your learning is wide. I want you to think like a data analyst by the end of this course, so that you work in finance, you work in banking, you work in product, you work in some other pricing or something like that also. You can build your report. You should be self-sufficient. That is the motive.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay, done. Any question? If there is last one, I'll take. I'm on time. We can meet back tomorrow also. Anyone else?
Sir, what's a good name?
Abhishek, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else? Okay. Thank you, guys. We'll meet back tomorrow. If there is any questions, you can ask. We'll continue. Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.